We are in the midst of a new series on the I ams that you find in the Gospel of John as Jesus talks about himself. The first one comes in John chapter 6, when he's there with the Pharisees, and they're talking about Moses, and they're talking about the fact that the Israelites back in the day, they received bread from heaven. And the Pharisees said, "You're not greater, Jesus, are you, than the prophet Moses, who gave us this bread?" And he responds and says, "I am the bread of life, which came down from heaven." 2 chapters later, in John chapter 8, he says, "I am the light of the world. He who believes in me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." In John chapter 10, he talks about the fact that he is the door, the entrance into the pasture of God's sheep, that he is the only way that we can enter into a right relationship with the Father. In chapter 11, as his friend Lazarus had laid in the tomb for several days, and he and his disciples had actually delayed a couple days before coming, and Mary and Martha run to him when he comes and says, "Why didn't you come earlier? You could have healed him." And he says, "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will never die." And then in John chapter 14, he says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." And now in John chapter 15, he says, "I am the true vine." Then there's this family creed that you and I get to believe in, that we get to express, that Jesus is the Christ, that he is who he said he was, that he has accomplished what he said he came to do, and that he's alive and well and reigning at the right hand of the throne of God.